things you didn't know about Shola Akinlade and Paystack.
My name is Shola Akinlade, co-founder and CEO of Paystack.
In this video, we take a look at some of the lesser-known facts about Shola Akinlade and his company Paystack, the startup often called the Stripe of Africa. The company went from processing just $200 in transaction when it joined Y Combinator to being acquired by Stripe for over $200 million. But there are a lot of things you might have missed, either because Paystack doesn't brag about them or because they didn't get as much coverage compared to the billion-dollar headlines. Now let's take a look at 10 things you probably did not know about Shola Akinlade and Paystack. The first Nigerian startup to join Y Combinator. Paystack was the first Nigerian startup to get into Y Combinator in 2016, the world's most elite tech accelerator that backed Airnamed, Dropbox and Stripe. At the time, many doubted if African startups could compete on Silicon Valley's turf, but Paystack didn't just compete, they opened the door. Since then, over 50 Nigerian companies have made it into YC, riding the path they carved. Shola's first big product was on Paystack. Before payment, Shola built Picorial, an open source workplace collaboration tool. Think of it like Dropbox, but open source. It was downloaded more than 115,000 times and used by over 200,000 companies worldwide. In other words, he was already playing on the global stage long before Paystack. Paystack had only $200 when they joined YC. When Paystack got into Y Combinator in 2016, they had processed only about $200 worth of transactions. That's practically nothing. Even Shola was shy to say it during their YC interview, but YC saw the potential. Fast forward to July 2024, Paystack processed 1 trillion naira, about $1.3 billion in just 1 month, from pocket change to power player. Shola is a national honoree. In 2022, the Nigerian government awarded Shola Officer of the Order of the Nigeria, OON, one of the Nigeria's highest national honors, for his impact on finance and technology. Despite that, Shola is famously private, avoiding the spotlight, unlike many Nigerian tech celebrities. The Stripe that got acquired by Stripe for over $200 million. From the first of the startup, Shola said they were building the Stripe of Africa. And as fate would have it, in 2020, Paystack made history with a record-breaking exit. Stripe acquired them for more than $200 million, the biggest Nigerian tech acquisition at the time. A validation not just of Paystack but of African potential in the global fintech race. Shola turned fintech winning into football. Most founders cash out and disappear. Shola doubled down into sports. He founded Sporting Lagos FC, a Nigeria football club with a mission to empower youth. In 2023, he also acquired 55% of Arnold's Fremad, a Danish second division club. His goal: build a bridge between African and European football. Paystack powers African biggest brands. From M10 to Domino's Pizza, from Bolt to Google, Paystack isn't just for startups. It's the hidden infrastructure that lets African biggest company accept payments seamlessly. Paystack also connects with Apple Pay, Shopify, WooCommerce, Zero, and dozens more platforms. This made it ridiculously easy for African merchants to plug into the global digital economy. Paystack was built by classmates. Shola Akinlade doesn't build Paystack alone. He co-founded it with his friend Ezra Olubi. The two met at Babcock University in Nigeria, studied computer science, and years later joined forces to launch Paystack. From classmates to co-founders, the journey shows how friendship can turn into billion-dollar partnerships. Paystack made Nigeria cool for VCs. Before Paystack, global VCs barely look at Nigeria, but the YC acceptance and Stripe acquisition changed the narrative. Today, Nigeria is Africa's top destination for startup funding, and Paystack will lead the way. Shola built one of the best company cultures in African tech. In an industry often obsessed with funding and exits, Shola earned deep respect for something more lasting: culture. Paystack became known as a startup with the best work environment in Africa. Founders and employees across the ecosystem praise Shola for proving that a great culture isn't just nice to have, it's a competitive advantage. Bonus fact: the Paystack mafia is already changing Africa. Just like Silicon Valley had the PayPal mafia, Africa now has a Paystack mafia. Former employees who are building the next wave of startups, from startups like Boma, Zone, Gray, Cowdeck, Seller, Fujetti, Romero, Mono, Brass, and many more. Paystack alumni are spreading across the ecosystem, armed with experience, network, and capital. The legacy of Paystack isn't just payment, it's an entire generation of founders. What do you think about Shola Akinlado's decision to move from fintech to football? Should more African founders diversify into industries like sports and entertainment? Or should they stay laser focused on tech? Let us know in the comments, and if you want to dive even deeper into the Paystack story, check out our full documentary on Paystack. It's linked right here and in the description. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to subscribe and like this video for more stories on African biggest startups and founders. See you next time.